afternoon, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Ocean's Pit, the little show about big things. Hope you guys are having a great Monday. It's Monday, May 18th, and we're ready to start another week of Ocean's Pit. And what a weekend it was for me with 2 gigs, and of course, my daughter Marissa and new son-in-law Nico were married on Saturday, and we'll tell you all about that and more. But in the meantime, check the website, TonyOceanMusic.com. Give us a call at 847-769-8609 to book a show. Every show is dedicated to the first responders, the men and women in the military. Let's not forget our veterans who fought for our country. But it's mostly dedicated to people like you who still tune in and watch Ocean's Pit Monday through Friday at noon. It's showtime. Let's go to work. Pit style. Thank you, Richie and the boys from Seventh Heaven, and hello, everybody. It's Ocean's Pit. It's Monday. Let's get right to our good friends from Ace Hardware. Ace is the place. Buy local, shop local, helping neighbors before they were neighborhoods. Guys, this is Tony Ocean here reminding you that Memorial Day is just around the corner this weekend. And the JRC Ace Hardware has everything you need for your lawn and the envy of your neighborhood. During the Memorial Day sale from May 13th through the 25th, you can save $100 on the EcoPower self-propellered mower kit, priced at only $649. Even better, you get a free 5-point battery with your purchase. Now, that's a $329 value for free. And while you're there, grab the Miracle Grow Organic Raising Bed and garden soil on sale, 2 for $15. Get the JRC Ace Hardware and get summer ready today. Great stuff for Memorial Day, folks. And don't forget to tell them to grill your ace off. That's what you need to do. Grill your ace off with our friends from Ace Hardware. Ace is the place. Buy local, shop local, helping neighbors before they were neighborhoods. All right. Woo! Where do we begin? Friday. There was no show on Friday, so I apologize for that. But I had a gig on Friday afternoon with Tony Ocean and the Main Event Band, and we want to thank my good buddy Andy and Jamie. They are from Creatures. Sea Creatures and Company in Wooddale, and they do all the packaging for snacks and popcorn and stuff. Well, it was a big 140 years they've been in business, so they did a big celebration outside under a tent. Thank God the weather was nice, food and drinks, and they had everybody in, and it was just a great turnout. We want to thank Mayor Nunzio from Wooddale. He was there. Also, a representative from the Republican Party running for governor, Darren Bailey, got up and he spoke too. So it was just a great event. And of course, the Main Event Band during the day, Double T, Tony Toto, Danny Ramundi. Thank you, Daryl Armenstad. Thank you, Bob Pucci on guitar. And that was the gig during the day. So on Friday. And then Friday night, we ended up at Chicago Prime Steakhouse, which is a beautiful night that was. And always fun. We always have fun there at Prime on Fridays. Saturday, night off. And finally, Marissa Fank and Nico Martino walk down the aisle and become husband and wife. Boy, the planning on this wedding. I mean, all the weddings that my kids had, our kids had, it was always unique, and everyone had their own unique thing, which was really cool. But it was a beautiful event, maybe about 260 people, I'm thinking. And it was at the Victoria at the park in Mount Prospect. We'll talk about that another day about the actual venue and everything that happened, but that kind of stuff. But otherwise than that, it was just an incredible, and the family and friends. And, they could have invited a hell of a lot more people, but they only wanted to invite the people that they knew personally, that they had, and that was great. And they had just great family. And of course, and my thing to be able to walk her down the aisle. And you guys all know she's not my daughter. She's my stepdaughter, but she's my daughter. And I got to walk Nina down the aisle too, which is pretty cool. And the two songs that I sang, she picked. They picked, her and Nico picked. I did The Way You Look Tonight, because Sinatra song, of course. And You Sang to Me by, I forgot his name. But it was just a great, blessed event. And then to thank all the entertainers that came as guests to the wedding. I mean, it's a Saturday. Most of these guys would be working normally. So Ocean's Rat Pack, Bill Saratella, Elliot Winbush and Karen, Kim Peterson LaFew, Danny Raimondi with his great sax solo. He did Europa. Double T, Tony Toto and Julie Jumpin', Jerry Jams, Daryl and Sonia. It was great. Nick and Phyllis Hodges. It was just one thing. And of course, Dana and Louis Pipes, requested by the bride and groom to sing Mac the Knife. And he did that fantastically as well. So thank you all for that, and just thank you all. And the party was great. The food was good. We all got a little woo-woo. But boy, what an event that was. And then the next day on Sunday, me and my wife and I, we hosted the brunch, and we had the immediate family there. So we catered breakfast and lunch. We had a little bit of everything. And our kitchen is all done. Just a couple little things that finally need to get done. So the kitchen was all done. And, so everybody was over, and we had some great food. And then I went to the venue to pick up some stuff we left there. And then I had to go return to tuxes. You guys probably know this already too, but what is so crazy to me is when you rent tuxedos for a wedding or whatever you're renting it for, if it's a Saturday, they want it back on Sunday before the store closes. I think the close was Marta Men's Warehouse. I think they were closing at 5. Why wouldn't they just say, hey, come in on Monday? Because usually the condition of half the people standing up on that in that wedding are the people. It might be a little woo. So, no, they want you to bring it on Sunday. They want you to bring it on that day, the day after. And geniuses, because they know that some of people say, hell with it, we'll bring it in on Monday. So they can charge extra money if you don't bring it back on time. So the brunch was fantastic. Everything was fantastic. It was just gorgeous to see Marissa and Nico finally walking down the aisle, these little poker chips on the table, and they just did an incredible job. Also want to thank my buddy Michelangelo. I seen him on Friday. He gave me this little Jack Daniels pipe. Now, I'm not a pot smoker, but I could probably put some tobacco in there, but it probably wouldn't last long. But this is just to add to my Jack Daniels memorabilia and stuff that I have. So, Michelangelo, if you're watching, thank you. We will definitely put that with the rest of the pipes. So it was just a great event. It really was. And thank you, everybody that came. And like I said, we would have, they made the list of people who they wanted, but they had to know these people personally. And that's what it was all about. So it was just an incredible event, and it's nice. So now everybody in the family is married except Gianna. She's just, the only girl. She's still single. But it all came fast, right? I mean, and then the babies, and of course, so thank you, Carol, so much. Carol's going to be with us tomorrow, Twisted Tuesday. Jill, thank you, Thomas. Jeff, thank you, my brother. Ellie Weinhardt, the Provenzanos, great seeing you guys. Yes, Ellie, I do own my own tux, but I had to wear the suit, the tux that matched everybody else. I couldn't wear my own tux. And the tuxes that, if you see the pictures, it doesn't even look like a tux. It looks like a suit. It looks like a suit. So to answer your question, Ellie, yes. Buddy, thank you. And all your texts and people sending me, thank you so much. Kathy and Ross, great seeing you guys stopping by. So the Sunday was just a great event because all the family was there, just the immediate family, but it was just a great event. And we'll tell you a little bit more about Victoria and the park probably in the next couple of days after we get to talk with them tomorrow at our meeting, because everything didn't go as well as we planned there. And I'll just start it off by saying the air conditioning wasn't on. And we're going to start with that. And I'll give you more information in the next couple of days. But that was tough. That was tough. There was people like, in suits, hot, woo, not good. And it wasn't working the night before at the rehearsal dinner. So anyway, Angelo, thank you so much. Mary, thank you. Thank you all, guys. We do really appreciate it very much. All right. So some business here, right? Business. And we're talking about the Chicago Music Cruise. January 10th to January 17th, back on the Royal Caribbean. And it's nice because we always go on a brand new ship. And this is a brand new ship, Star of the Seas. It's going to happen. Tony Ocean, the main event band, and Seventh Heaven, baby, for the fourth time out on the water. Go to ChicagoMusicCruise.com. Tell me you want to join us in St. Martin and St. Thomas and Florida and and the Bahamas and Coco Cay. 7 days. ChicagoMusicCruise.com. Put it in, or better yet, pick up the phone and call NTD Vacations. Talk to my good friend Mary Grievous at 630-688-1725 and tell them, hey, jump on. I know you think, it's January, we got plenty of time. No, because you want the best deals on some of those rooms, and they're flying out. They're going fast. So there's the information. Thank you so much, Mary, for that. We'll talk about that too, Frank, as well. That was the next thing here. Well, the first thing, of course, May 14th, 1998, Frank Sinatra passed away. And of course, Sinatra has been part of my life, and a lot of the musicians I know and singers and stuff. Sinatra's in our repertoire. People ask me, Tony, do you remember where you were where Frank died? Yes. For like 8 years, the Chicago Rat Pack, which was my old Rat Pack tribute group with Lonnie Parler, the late Lonnie Parler, and Jack D'Amico. We had Chicago Rat Pack, which we did the play downtown, and then after the play ended, we started touring around different places. And for about 8 years straight, we'd work about 6 weeks a year in Aruba. And that's when we found out that it's two people. I mean, the first we get Frank Sinatra dies, and then the first time we went there, my dad died, and I had to rush home, and we flew in an understudy to take my place for those 2 days while I flew home and took care of my dad. I just got to see it before he passed away. So that's where I was when I found out my father died, I was working, and when Sinatra died in the same Aruba, same time, in 2 different years, of course. But so Frank Sinatra. NFL news, of course. We talked about the Chicago Bears leaked 2 of their games coming up. The Bears will play the Packers on Thanksgiving like they used to for years, but then they kind of sucked, so they didn't put them on prime time. But now this year, they're going to happen. And, of course, Christmas Day, they're going to play the Lions. So for you Bears fans out there, group cabins are still available, which is good. Thank you, Mary. And baseball, what are we going to say? This past weekend, we had 2 great series. We had the Subway Series between the New York Yankees and the New York Mets. And first game, Yankees win. They came back and took the series 2-1. Congratulations to the New York Yankees. Then we go to the Crosstown series, the Chicago Cubs against the Southside White Sox. And the Cubs got the first one. Sox win the second one. That third game, boy, I mean, we were watching it because now that we got a giant TV and everything inside the kitchen, everybody was watching it, and it could have went either way. We thought the Sox had it, and was the eighth inning, ninth inning. The Cubs had a 2-run homer, going into overtime, and a walk-off. White Sox got up, home run. Sox win the series 2-1. So congratulations to our White Sox fans on the South Side, and congratulations to my buddies that love the New York and the Yankees. Today, also the 15th, Friday, was National Day of Prayer. President Trump wanted to do a special National Day of Prayer. That was on Friday, or he wanted the whole country and the world to just take some time and pray. And so thank you, President Trump, for that. Whether you like him or not, at least that was kind of cool to do that, because I think we all still need that in our lives. It's also, this past weekend was Armed Forces Day. So thank you for everybody for that. Also, it was National Receptionist Day for all you receptionists out there that are working. So that's your special day. And of course, it's also National Military Spouse Day. So anybody that's married to somebody in the military, it's your day as well. That's got to be hard. That's got to be hard, boy. The hair is a little high today. That's got to be hard. And, to be married to somebody and you're always moving and stuff like that. I know Double T, Tony Toto's daughter is married to military. So, I like to talk to somebody through that to see what that's about. Also, our prayers go out to a Chicago firefighter. According to NBC, Northside Chicago firefighter Stephen Decker dies during a training experiment. A training exercise, and the Call of Duty doing that. So our prayers out to Stephen Decker, fireman. Jeff Hunt, to your fireman, buddy. Dying while he was doing a training. Gee. Claudine Cadet has died. She was a British actress. She did, I think it was a movie with the Pink Panther, Peter Sellers. She wasn't that big in the United States. David Burke, who played Dr. Watson in the British series, Sherlock Holmes, he passed away. Some stuff that I care more than. It is very sad, Jeff. Natalie, how are you doing? Good afternoon. Clarence Carter has died. Backdoor Santa, I'm stroking to the east, stroking to the west. That's another song that drives me crazy. But anyway, Clarence Carter dies at the age of 90 years old. Also, WGN, one of the main guys behind the Billy Goat Tavern, Sam Ciantis, has passed away at the age of 91 years old, the Billy Goat Tavern. And Dennis Local Query, if I'm pronouncing his name right, I don't know, but he was the lead singer of Dr. Hook, and they had some great songs, Sylvia's Mother, and so many great songs. He had a great voice. I love Dr. Hook. I still listen to him. He died very young age. 68, I think it was, 68 or 78. 78. So more people are dropping. This week, what do we got coming? We got a busy week. Wednesday, Oceans Rat Pack is hitting the city of Chicago. We're going to be at the Carnival on the Fulton Market. We do there once a year for the last maybe 4 years. We'll be upstairs, and they have a little speakeasy called the Alley. And Oceans Rat Pack will be there this Wednesday. This Thursday, we're continuing the party at Posit‌ano's in Oakbrook with Jumpin' Jerry Jams and Lisa P. Friday, returning to Chicago Prime Steakhouse. And Saturday for the Memorial Day weekend bash, we got 2 nights at Well, one night and one day, one afternoon in Lake Geneva, Wisconsin. So Saturday we'll be at the Getaway at the French Country Inn from 6 to 9, me and Double T Tony Toto. And then Saturday and Sunday we'll be at the Thirsty Parrot in Lake Como from 2 to 5, and that's going to be with Tony Toto and Jerry Jams. So 2 nights, 2 times in Lake Geneva, Wisconsin for the holiday weekend. So that's it's a big, busy week. So I hope you guys can come out and check the website on that. All right. And then another thing that happened on Saturday was the big MMA fight, the return of Ronda Rousey. Dennis, how are you doing, buddy? Thank you. Kim Peterson, great seeing you on Saturday at the wedding. Thank you, Kimmy. Anyway, the MMA fight, Saturday night, the return of Ronda Rousey, and the return, of course, of Gina Carano. And everybody was expecting this fight. Netflix. Now, I'll put it this way. They agreed to do the fight, and after the fight, and we'll tell you, people think it might have been staged. I don't know. But Ronda Rousey was getting paid for one night $2.2 million. Gina got paid $105 million. The fight ended in 17 seconds. Ronda Rousey put her out, and I was rooting for Gina. You know, Gina was the star at one time before Ronda was. And they became friends, and of course, she went through some life. She put a lot of weight on, and then Ronda got with her, helped her train, helped her get in shape. I think they sat down, my opinion, I think they sat down, hey, you want to get back, you want to do this, you want to do this? Okay, I'm going to help you lose your weight. So Gina got great shape, looks incredible, a little too thin, I think. I like to when she had a little bit more meat. But anyway, that's just me. And 17 seconds. 17 seconds, Ronda Rousey just knocked her out. David, how are you doing? That's right. The White Sox won, Dennis. We talked about that. Keith, how are you doing? Well, General, great seeing you. Thank you, my friend, you and Janice. Vanessa, how you guys doing? Welcome to Ocean's Pit. So, congratulations. $2.2 million for 17 seconds, Ronda Rousey. Is she going to come back? Is she going to go to wrestling again? Is it going to happen again? She's still as tough as she was. So, wow. Ronnie B, what's up, brother? I hope you're doing well. Do you remember the word, and I use it every now and then, when you can't explain remember the word thingamajig? Sometimes I still use it, and some people look at me and go, what? The thingamajig. Thingamajig, yeah. Anybody still use that word? And then, anyway, back to Sunday. After the party and everybody left, I go, I'm going to go throw a pole out. So I went fishing last night. It was still, and I tried the lures. I tried the spinners, top lure, bottom lure. And I threw a worm in, got 3 bluegill, nothing. And all of a sudden, a giant monster bass grabs a worm, a nitro worm. And Ronnie B is the one who introduced me to nitro worms. They're green, and they pump ink to them. I don't know what they do to it. But anyway, it makes sense. It makes sense that what they sat down there. I know I'm jumping from subject to subject, but they sat down and said, hey, you want to make some money? 17 seconds, guys. $2.2 million for 17 seconds. And then Gina Carano, of course, $1.5 million. Wow. But thingamajig. Nobody, Jill, you'll still use it. I use it every now and then. Thingamajig. Maybe they will split the winnings. Good point, Carol, because if Ronda didn't have Gina there for them to just decide to do this, it might have not a bigger card. You know, it might have not been as big. And Netflix, they jumped on it. They jumped on it. I'm sure they made their money too. But 17 seconds, you guys believe that? Wow. Thingamajig. That's the way it is. Thingamajig. I don't know how many people still use that, but hey, is what it is. Did you hear about the Italian chef that died? He passed away. We can only do so much. He just ran out of time. Sending all of my prayers to the family. His wife is really upset. She's not over it. You never sausage a tragic thing. You guys are funny. Florida. The fish was over 2 pounds, Robert, to answer your, it was over 2 pounds because I got the measuring thing. So pretty cool. All right. Florida. You know, I always give Florida a hard time. You know, people go to sleep and bingo and pickleball and all that shit, you know. But DeSantis, Governor DeSantis, whether you like him or not, think about this. This is the state of Florida. Florida is becoming the most compelling state in the United States of America. Zero income tax rate, soon to be zero property taxes, runs a budget surplus, has $15 billion in reserves. It will become the fastest growing state in the next year. Fastest. The Italian, they drove through Brookfield Pasta Zoo. Good one, Boyd. And there's my man, Pipes. We just talked about you at the beginning of the show, Louie. Thank you, you and Dana, for coming out, you and the Spins and everybody. And my daughter requested you singing Mac the Knife, and you were on fire, as you always are, brother. So thank you, Pipes. Florida. You believe that? A lot of people. I mean, I wouldn't move there. I just couldn't stand the heat. I just couldn't stand hot all the time. Couldn't stand it. Only in America, ladies and gentlemen, only in America does someone step out on with a $150 pair of sneakers, sips a $7 coffee, and post stuff from a $1,000 phone, and still claim they're oppressed while calling capitalism broken. Only in America you can do that. Come on. These if you get these real expensive sneakers, these kids are buying them. $10 for a cup of coffee at Starbucks, and $2,000, $1,500 for a new phone. It's insane. Patrice, my dear, how are you doing? Well, Jimmy Kimmel in trouble again. He already lost one sponsor. Now it looks like he's lost his Las Vegas residency. The MGM Grand cancels Jimmy Kimmel's summer residency. After the president and first lady called for a full boycott of the comedian, Kimmel has gone to the Grand every summer for 11 years while his show is on hiatus. That contract won't be renewed, said MGM Entertainment Director Joseph Barron. Mr. Kimmel will need to find a new home for his summer gig. So far, no other venues in the area have shown interest. MGM Grand, Jimmy Kimmel losing his. Oh, so sorry. All right, us Italians out there. And speaking of Italians, I'm having my buddy Felix Greco and Louis Pipes on the show on Wednesday. And then this Friday, Nick and Phyllis Sahajas are going to be on talking about their big St. Jude's thing coming up on the 30th in Gurnee, Illinois. So I'm going to save this question for Louis and Felix when I see him. Chicago Cub fans, I think this is true. This is from Windy City Dugout, and you Cub fans should be happy if this is true. Chicago Cubs shocked the reunion of Joe Maddon. With an $8.4 million contract, Legend returns as an advisor, not as the coach, not as the manager. Chicago Cubs caused a sensation by officially signing $8.4 million contract to bring back legend Joe Maddon as an advisor. The reunion is not only symbolic after the miraculous 2016 World Series victory, but it also seen as a strategic move to rebuild winning culture and guide the younger generation of Cubs towards a new era. So if this is true for you Cub fans, it could be a big thing. It's definitely for him. $8.4 million to advise? To advise? Boyd, this is from your post, and I think this was a few days ago, but I love it. With all other crazy things, there's a steady flow of people vanishing. With all the technology available, you would think there would be case results. The Epstein Island still in business? And I know it's bullshit, old news and stuff, but Boyd, you got it right. Not only the people missing, what about the people with the ankle bracelets? How many are missing? They can't find them. The tracking device is gone. Nobody got arrested for the Epstein Island thing. What's going on here? In Europe, they already arrested 2 or 3 people. What happened to all these people? What about the kids? What about the people missing every day? I'm going to save that one for tomorrow. I don't know. I don't know. This is another topic that's, people are either pro or not pro guns. And I know it's another one that's going to rattle the feathers, but whatever. This would be insane if this is true for the people the people that support the guns and stuff. They're going to think this is a great idea. If the people that hate the guns and all that stuff, they're really going to be furious on this one. Handguns, according to the WFLA News, Chicago 8, Channel 8, National News. Handguns could be mailed through the United States Postal Service for the first time in nearly 100 years if a proposed rule under the Trump administration takes effect. You guys know where I stand with my political views. I don't think this is a good idea. I do not think this is a good idea. Considers allowing people to ship handguns through the mail. I don't think it's a good idea. Just my opinion. You want to buy a gun? You go to a place and get it. Licensed place. Do it right. Do the paperwork. Do the background check. Make sure the person who's buying the gun, they need to crack down a little bit more on finding out how you get these guns. And put it this way, with all the robberies and shit going on in this world right now, if people know that people are shipping guns through the mail, people be ripping packages left and right so they can steal more guns. So I don't believe it. It's a good idea. Just my opinion. Not a good idea. Do not ship guns in the mail. Breaking news, a $50,000 reward is being offered for information leading to the arrest of the driver who fatally struck a Chicago Cub fan in Los Angeles during the Dodgers-Cubs series a few weeks ago. I didn't even know about this. Somebody gets hit, a fan, probably leaving the game, hit and run. Jesus. So, what does that do? ABC News, Channel 7. 2 people and an Uber driver and an 18-year-old student were shot to death while driving on the city's west side on Thursday evening. I don't know. The crime and everything happening in this city. Well, that's interesting stuff, Dennis. If you like history, and I do love history. Good and bad. I do love history. I do follow it. So, WGN TV, a Crystal Lake man is facing a felony charge after authorities say he allegedly exposed himself to a group of children who were out on recess on Thursday. Here's what I don't get. What does the guy get out of that? He exposed himself to a bunch of kids when they're on recess and they're playing. What's wrong with these people? Right? How about this? Airline news, WGN, hear about this? A Frontier Airlines plane hit and killed a pedestrian on the runway of the Denver International Airport during takeoff. Airport authorities said, sparking an engine fire and forcing passengers to evacuate. These are the news, folks. This is the stuff that's happening. We just talked about a fireman who passed away while he was a North Side fireman we mentioned on the show, which he was doing a training experiment and exercise, and he died during that. This is Dean Richards, WGN. How about our prayers out to the Greek Orthodox services for Officer John Barolomew. I'm pronouncing his name right. You know, I butcher everything. So this was Dean Richards' post that he went to the actual the service, and his heart was broken. His wife, daughter, his mother, his siblings, other family. It's more than moving seeing officers and others, first responders from Chicago, all over the country, saluting and paying tribute to a fallen brother. So, prayers. It's just sad, but it is what it is. Sorry, stuff like that happens all the time. You're right, Dennis. They didn't show it, but this pedestrian was sucked into the engine at Frontier Airlines at the Denver airport. Correct. Michael, I just mentioned you, brother. Thank you for the little Jack Daniels pipe that you gave me on Friday. I don't smoke this stuff, but I will put this with my Jack Daniels Mirabilia. So, Michael, thank you. Appreciate it. Yeah, but yes. And we're going to talk about that tomorrow, too. Yeah, here it is. Here's the full story about this Frontier Airlines, folks. A Frontier Airlines in Denver was forced to perform emergency evacuation. A pedestrian jumped a fence and was sucked into the engine during takeoff. So the pedestrian jumps over this fence, not supposed to, and it gets close to the engine and sucked him in. And that's part that wasn't on the first story I said. The collision caused an immediate engine fire and filled the cabin with smoke while 230 souls were on board. Passengers were forced to use emergency slides to escape into the grass, and first responders rushed to the scene. It's a tragic situation, and the pedestrian was unfortunately killed in this incident. If you go back to the story, the pedestrian jumped a fence. He was not supposed to be there. It was ruled a suicide? Okay, Dina, thank you for that. If she doesn't say that in this story. That's one way to kill yourself. Or about the guys that walk out onto a train. Wow. And New York again in trouble. You know, we're talking about property taxes. We're talking about regular taxes. Isn't J.D. Pritzker supposedly July 1st, 50% tax, another tax hike? Listen to this. This is about New York City, according to the New York Post. 1.6% of the wealthiest people in New York City pay nearly half of the taxes. 1.6%. of the wealthiest people in New York pay nearly half of the taxes. If those folks are, because they're getting pissed off, if those folks leave New York, you're going to have a financial crisis of magnitude in which the governor doesn't understand, and I don't think he gives a shit until it happens to them. This is New York City you're talking about. If these big companies leave, if Wall Street was to leave, or all these rich people to leave New York, maybe they need that. Maybe they need that to happen. Maybe they need that to happen. Okay, David, I think you shared this. David Spywak. David, I think you shared this on your page. The original person who posted it was Barbara Core. And then, David, you shared it on your page, and I thought it was very interesting. Spirit Airlines didn't shut down just because of war in Iran, as the Democrats want us to believe. Since 2020, Spirit lost $2.5 billion. Spirit filed for bankruptcy twice. Spirit was looking for a $500 million bailout from the government, but the Democrats rejected that. Then Spirit wanted to merge with JetBlue, but the Democratic Elizabeth Warren sued to stop the merger. Spirit laid off workers, reduced routes, but that didn't help. At the end, the Democrats, the party who claimed to support the average worker, allowed 17,000 people to lose their jobs, shut down an airline. Good going, guys. Good going. I'm not even going to repeat. I'm not even going to say this. This is absolutely crazy. All right. Now, Italians. I'm Italian. You know that. A lot of my friends are Italian. There's a lot of Italians out there in Chicago and New York and stuff. But I was wondering who had the most Italians in different states. Okay. So get this. This is 10 states and how many Italians they have. This is just for the Italians. Some people are going to care, some people are not. But anyway, Connecticut's got 562,177,000. Okay, so Connecticut's number 10. Texas got 563. Ohio 684. Illinois got 687. That's a lot. Still a lot. Massachusetts comes in at number 6. Florida comes in at number 5. New Jersey comes in at number 4. California, number 3. Pennsylvania comes in at number 2. More Italians than even Illinois. New York, 2,260,000. I figured that. I didn't think Pennsylvania. It's probably, I'd like to figure that out. Maybe take all the nationalities in Illinois and see how many are in. I'd like to figure something out. I heard the toll roads are going up too, Dennis. This is what we're hearing. This is our governor, our Democratic governor, Pritzker. I don't know. A science has proven. I'm going to save this tomorrow too because, like I said, I like getting that. Well, we already talked about that already yesterday. Anyway, guys, we got a lot of other stuff going on. I want to thank my buddy cousin Tommy yesterday for coming Saturday too, Tommy. And of course, they have Jack Vena Landscaping. They offer monthly maintenance programs, bush trimming, spring call, bed mulching, fertilizing, servicing the North Shore for over 50 years. Call Tommy at 847-432-5266. Another sponsor of the Tony Ocean Show. We got some other gigs coming up, folks. I told you about the week that we got, of course, but then next week on the 29th, we'll be at 27th, we'll be at Rosario's in Roselle with Double T. And then, of course, on the Thursday night, next Thursday, not this Thursday, next Thursday will be at Johnny Cabs with Jerry Jams and Lisa P. That's in Burr Ridge. And then, of course, the big St. Jude's benefit we're doing on the 30th with Heart to Heartbreaker, Nick Sages, Rat Pack, and so many other people will be there at 1020, the 1020 Hotel in Gurnee. And Nick and Phyllis Sages are going to be on the show this Friday, speaking about the event that they're doing in Gurnee on the 30th. Again, my guest, Felix Greco and Louis Pipes, will be my guest on Wednesday, and Carol Brandolina will be with us Tuesday and Thursday this week as well. Back at Mars, people ask me when we're going to Mars, August 22nd. Mark your calendar. And then the Dream Police will be at Monster Bash at Tailgaters on June 10th, Wednesday, June 10th. It's going to be a great blast. A tribute to Cheap Trick, Foreigner, Hart, Pat Benatar, Boston, Fleetwood Mac. Like, I don't know how many people are going to be up there, but we're kicking it off. The Dream Police with Cheap Trick, we're kicking it off. So very excited about that. And the thunderstorms we had today, that was the weather. So let's just tell you about that. This is Ocean's Pit, and this weather is brought to you by JRC Ace Hardware Stores. 74 degrees, folks. Thunderstorms between 11 and 12. It came down hard here. We lost like 2 branches in our house. We lost power for a couple minutes. The rain came down like crazy from 11 and 12, and then it stopped, and it's sunny again. So 74 degrees, 16-mile-an-hour winds, 75% humidity. It was only from 11 and 12. Today, Monday, May 18th. And I hope there was no damage or anything at your place. We got a branch that came down in the front of the house, smaller branch, and a bigger one that came in the back of the house. Thank God nothing was damaged. We can just throw that out tomorrow during garbage. But anyway, that was brought to you by JRC Ace Hardware, our good friends, opening their brand new place coming in Elmwood Park by the end of October. And if you're in the Richmond, Illinois area, they serve liquor. You can drink liquor while you're shopping at the JRC Ace Hardware in Richmond, Illinois. God bless America. God bless America. Maybe we'll get some gaming in there too. And we're going to get Raffaello back in the month of June. Plus, we've got a couple of concerts we're going to be doing at a couple of their locations this summer. So we'll keep you posted on those dates. That should be a lot of fun too. All right. So trying to get some more stuff here. There was so much stuff. I can't believe, again, mentioning all the people that have passed away. And it's like, my God, some of them not even that old. That's the sad thing. That's the crazy sad thing. Free night crawlers. There you go, Boyd. I tried. I went in my backyard. I buy my night crawlers. I get the regulars or I get the nitros. But I try going back there and trying to lift rocks, Boyd. I don't see them. Or I might be not. I'm maybe looking at the wrong spots. I don't know. Okay. Who's with me on this? I don't care if the bird flu joins forces with HIV and monkeypox and COVID to become a Marvel comic super virus. I'll never comply with another public health order for the rest of my life. Case closed. Put it all together. Give it to us all. Why not? Here's another story I'll use for tomorrow. And this is the same person who posted. It makes sense. I think we talked about this before, about this hantavirus, whatever it was called. Just a reminder, a genuinely deadly pandemic doesn't require 24/7 advertising to remind you it exists. Real pandemics don't need marketing campaigns and endless propaganda. Think about that. That makes complete sense. We just mentioned again Military Spouse Appreciation Day. So thank you all them. You're going to love this one, folks. This is funny. I think some of you are going to like it. Some, of course, are not going to like it, but here it is. Cocaine was found at Biden's house. A dead body was found at Obama's house. A male prostitute at Pelosi's house. An illegal server was found in Clinton's house. So the FBI raids President Trump's. I think that's funny. That's just me. I think that's funny. And there will be some that thinks that's funny too. I just thought, what a way to get a little clicker. All right, love this quote. Coming out right for midterm. How about it, Michael? How about it, right? Sure. All right, Shelley Valenti. Ego. Ego says, once thing falls in peace. That's what ego. Your spirit says, find peace will fall into place. To look into that, but I do like that quote. I don't think either way is really bad. Because how many times you guys say this? Okay, once I catch up on this, blah, 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 everything's going to be cool. That's not really ego. So I guess it's how you look at it, or the individual, how they look at it. This was the mind-boggling story. If you guys ever go to Volvo, Illinois, they have this auto museum, and now it's a dinosaur park, and got trains and planes and tanks and all that stuff. Really cool. They got a giant indoor flea market. Really cool place. If you ever want to spend some time, bring the kids, or just go yourself to the Volvo Auto Museum in Volvo, Illinois. Okay. But they have museums, and they have the cars of all the great TV shows and great movies. So you can see the Knight Rider, and you can see Scooby's van. You can see, it's really, really cool. I've been there many times. The Volvo Museum received a ticket in the mall. Allegedly, KITT, the iconic 1880s car from Knight Rider, was speeding in New York City. The only issue is, according to the museum, the replica has not been on the road for over a decade. I've seen the car there. I don't think it could be a duplicate. It could be someone else pulling the strings, whatever. This is according to WGN. They got a ticket. Very funny shit. All right, the waitress. This is Selena Bellina. Now, when I just read the name of this person, I know this story's fake. Because nobody's name could be Selena Bellina. Right? Like if your last name was Head and your first name was Dick. I knew a guy like that, but he called himself Richard, though. He didn't call himself Dick. Anyway, Selena Bellina. Gotta love this one. Waitress arrested after locking a table of 8 inside a private dining room at Maggiano's over a zero tip on a check for $784. This supposedly happened in Charlotte, North Carolina. Selena Bellina, 24 years old, was arrested Saturday night at the South Park Maggiano's, Little Italy, after allegedly locking a party of 8 people inside a private vineyard room for 47 minutes after they left zero tip on $784 family-style check. According to police report, Bellina had served the group for nearly 3 hours, refilling 14 bottomless salads, 11 baskets of garlic bread, and an off-menu round-off toasted ravioli. She compiled herself to keep them happy. Could have happened? Maybe. Selena Bellina? I don't know. This person's name was Skylard Madison. Sounds like a wrestler or an actor or a porn star. I'm just going to skip this one completely. Anyway, yeah, it's there's a couple good ones. Okay. Buy a house as soon as you can. I don't know if Mary's still listening, but buy a house as soon as you can. Afford the down payment, renting, essentially paying someone else's mortgage. I think I might even mention this once before. Shark Tank's Barbara Corrigan has once ruled when it comes to buying a house, she says the best time to buy is the minute you have enough cash for the down payment, not when rates are perfect or when the market is ideal. In her view, waiting for the most expensive decision you can make. Her stance on renting is just a blunt. Why do you want to pay somebody else where you live? She says, always buying. Every month you rent is month you're building someone else's wealth, not your own. She's pretty smart. She's pretty smart. Oh, there's Mary saying correct. Double T. Thank you, my brother. Great seeing you and Julie. Love you guys. And I said, Tony, if you weren't listening, today is National Spouse Military Armor Day. So for people who are married to people in the military, it's their spouse's day. So there you go. I'd love to get your daughter on because I would love to find out what it's like to be married to someone in the military who's always traveling and going different spots. You know, you're here for a while, you're here for a while, you don't know. I'd like to see what that's like. Talk to somebody that's ever been through that because I bet you it's very interesting. Anyway, yes, so try not to rent. Of course. People with IQ are 3 times more likely to be alcoholics. A new study suggests that students with higher IQs in high school are more likely to become moderate or heavy drinkers later in life. Maybe because you're that smart, everything comes easy to you. I know people who have big IQs, a couple friends of mine, at least, and they're not big drinkers. So researchers found that this pattern was linked to factors like higher income levels and social environments as adulthood. So I guess the more money you make, the more you're, I don't know if this is actually true. A woman only remembers 2 things. No, I'm sure nobody wanted to go to Vietnam on that. Hey, T, I heard I had a good time at the wedding. And I was the first one up. I was up at 6 o'clock the next day. 6 o'clock. Anyway, a woman only remembers 2 things. The good she did for you and the bad you did to her. It's never the good you did for her. It's never the bad she did to you. All is forgotten. We have to save that one for tomorrow. Let's see. An average man can't find women to settle down with. We're going to settle on that one too. All right. I wonder if this is true. This makes sense. Last story. Adults who need to be in control were often raised by parents who were emotionally upset or unstable. Many adults who struggle with control were raised in environments where emotions felt unpredictable. Well, I don't know. Yeah, when you get into a relationship, you always have one who's a little bit more controlling, the other one's more laid back, and vice versa. If you have both controlling, then there's a problem. Guys, we come to the end. Hammer, what's up, my brother? Hope you're doing well. And we are done for today. And again, busy week. Ocean's Rat Pack will be at the Carnival on Wednesday with Bill Saratella, Elliot Wimbush, Jerry Jams. That's Wednesday in the city on Fulton Market, upstairs in their speakeasy on the alley. A few seats left. I think it's $30 a ticket to come and see Ocean's Rat Pack on Wednesday, the 20th. On the 21st, will be at Positano's in Oak Brook. Jerry Jams and Jumpin' Jerry Jams and Lisa P. Chicago Prime Steakhouse on Friday night. Saturday and Sunday will be in Lake Geneva, Wisconsin. Double T and yours truly will be at the Getaway French Country Inn on Saturday from 6 to 9 outside. It's going to be beautiful by the water. And then Sunday, me and Double T and Jerry will be at the Thirsty Parrot in Lake Como from 2 to 5. So it's going to be a great weekend, Memorial Day. All right, tomorrow, Carol Brandolini will be with us. Wednesday, we have we have Felix Greco and Louis Pipes. Thursday, Carol's back, and Friday, Nick and Phyllis Hodges promoting their St. Jude's benefit concert coming on May 30th. And let's not forget Armando Supermarkets, 925 Liberty Street in Elgin, Illinois. Meats, groceries, prepared food, and rotisserie chicken. Tell Danny Mazzi, Tony O sent you. Armando's Supermarkets. Where's the Christmas party with you and Rick Lindy? Good one, Jeanette. I forgot the name of the theater, but it's in Downers Grove. I will text it to you, and I will let you know where it is. I know we did two already, but that's a Christmas one. I think so. All right. Birthdays for Monday, May 18th. We got a lot of good people here. Perry Como. It's impossible to shove a piano up your nose. It's just impossible. Perry Como. Lek Leckenby, one of the original members of Hermits, celebrating the birthday. He's not with us anymore. He died years ago. Susie Wiles, the chief of staff in charge of the President Trump administration. Susie's celebrating the birthday. Rudy Zarro, of course, the bass player for Quiet Riot, 75 years old. Harvey Keitel, great actor, 87 years old. David Lee Roth. There you go. Thank you, Lilia. Trivoli Theater. The Trivoli Theater. Thank you, Stephen. And thank you, Lilia. And there's your answer, Jeanette. Now I know. So there you go. David Lee Roth. The most overrated singer, David Lee Roth, formerly of Van Halen, 71 years old. Gene Cornish, one of the members of the Rascals. Then, of course, he went to one of my groups. I love him, called Photomaker, celebrating the birthday. Ian Astbury, the singer from The Cult. Lionel Richie, 76 years old today. James Mason. Love as an actor. Phil Seymour, one of the great power pop singers. Him and Dwight Twilley were great in the 70s. Bobby Darin, Mac the Knife, the great Bobby Darin, celebrating the birthday. My good buddy, Mark Giangreco. You should see him on the news, and you don't see him anymore, but Mark is great. Whatever you're doing, Mark, hope you're doing well. Stephanie Johnson, that's the Ron Onesti's assistant and everything she does for the Onesti organization. Stephanie, happy birthday, my dear friend. Our grandson, Owen, is 1 month year old. Happy 1 month to Owen. Woo-hoo. Richie Hofer, the big man, of course, the boss behind Seventh Heaven. This past weekend celebrated a birthday. Richie, happy birthday, my friend. And, of course, another Richie from Onesti Entertainment, Ron Onesti's brother, Richie Onesti, celebrating the birthday. Richie Onesti, the man behind the scenes, along, of course, with Mr. Ron Onesti and Onesti Entertainment. Oshows.com. Check out what's going on over there. They got good stuff. All right, guys. Tomorrow we'll be back with Twisted Tuesday with Carol Brandolino. And now I don't think it's going to rain again, so I have a little lunch, and I'm going to go out and go to Poland, see if I can catch something today. I want to let's thank our good friends from Ace Hardware. Ace is the place. Okay. Looking for the best deals in town? JRC Ace Hardware. May red hot buys are here now through the end of the month. Pick up the Zero G 50-foot garden hose for just $36.99. Or the Specicide Truckicide Lawn Insect Killer for only $7.99 with your H Rewards card. Need to clear some weeds? How about that Roundup Concentrate? It's just $22.99. They even have a free flag giveaway on Saturday, May 23rd, honoring our veterans. High quality gear, helpful service, and great prices. JRC Ace Hardware, where you can get liquor in Richmond, Illinois, and shop, and the brand new Elmwood Park one coming in October. JRC Ace Hardware, buy local, shop local, helping neighbors before they were neighborhoods. Guys, thanks again for all the texts and calls, and everybody know about for Marissa and Nico that got married on Saturday. I thank you all from the bottom of my heart. Our family thanks you all, and thank you so much. Guys, buy local, shop local, support local establishments, support live entertainment, be kind to one another. And if you're offended with anything you hear on this show, doesn't mean you're right. Doesn't mean we're right either. But thank God we still have an opinion that we can give in this country, at least for now. Most important, though, be kind. Please. Thank you all for watching. We'll be back tomorrow, same time, same station. Nick Sahajas, Piano Man, taking us out. Bye-bye.
Time to go, it's the end of the show. See you later from Tony O.
God bless America, everybody. And thank you so much for watching. Have an incredible day. See you tomorrow. Twisted Tuesday. Bye-bye.